What kind of person do you think would be drawn to playing Malphite in League of Legends? Are they more likely to enjoy tanky frontline roles, or do they just love the idea of being a giant rock smashing into the enemy team?
Malphite introduced in 2010 in something called the Season 1 updates, and a hot minute before I first started, almost with boundless flexibility, but initially primarily a top and a jungler. Malphite's part of that somewhat sad group of champions like Warwick and Garen, by far the most successful hyper casuals because people have such a difficulty with critical thinking that they are in all cases incapable of adding any kind of additional armor, so that the champs that don't have crazy high base armor have tremendous difficulties staying up. One of my biggest current fascinations is to see whether this will ever change as we go up in the ranks, because by itself it just doesn't point to humanity's finest hour. Basically making you tank whether you want to or not, and quenching the unquenchable thirst for a solid foundation. Of course, the entire passive goes to waste like this. The Storm Surge, the copy-paste, Ludens. Malphite has a quality that increases his damage as you add on armor, so meaning that items like Thornmail have an offensive component to them. AP continues to be the primary killer for everything under silver. Malphite very quick to run out of mana. You end up addressing that. For an Azir matchup, you're going to pummel that anyway as Malphite. You look at those clashes between Malphite and Yi, you see that viability of Yi to top, which we so rarely really see mature in any way. But there's no question with this kind of build that next to me you fall apart quite easily.
Whether as a tank, an AP burst mage, or even a hybrid, what we can conclude about him is that he's got a strong, straightforward kit that makes him accessible to a lot of players. His ultimate in particular is iconic for starting fights and turning the tide of a game, and that makes him a favorite for players who enjoy making a big impact in team fights.